What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Dermy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video. And the Genshin Impact boycott has been some of the most hypocritical yet funniest things I've ever seen going on. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of what's happening, recently the new Natlan expansion came out. In this expansion, they released a bunch of brand new characters to actually play, pull, do whatever you do with Genshin. By the way, I am not a Genshin Impact player. I've never boasted to be one. I'm not a fan. But I take one look at these characters and I think they're perfectly fine. Not so fast, everybody, because a bunch of narcissistic, entitled freaks decided to come out here and say that all these characters were racist because, I shite ya not, they were based off of South America, African, and Pacific Islander areas. That's where the Natlan area is based off of. So all these characters are racist because they're not black and brown. I'm not lying. So what happened? We had a massive Genshin Impact boycott. I say massive, honestly, with air quotes there, because it was super pathetic. But you see right here, Genshin Impact boycott claim game is attempting to eradicate minorities, but implicitly tells players to continue to play the game. Yeah, that was the big thing, was they boycotted the game, but they refused to quit playing the game. So as time went on, Genshin Impact developer Miho reminds player that the game is fiction after apparent complaint regarding racism and colorism, which fell on deaf ears because the boycott continued to rage, gathering in actual Genshin Impact voice actors to actually be a part of the boycott, having several of them come out here and say that Hoyoverse is being racist, Hoyoverse is doing awful, horrible things. You get this guy right here who is of Korean descent, grew up in Korea, but now he lives here in like Los Angeles, and he's all in that DEI brain of that stuff. And you got Jun-un, email, Genshin Impact, all that stuff, and he's like, you guys should do better. I've gone through a lot of these things, but you can see all these voice actors coming out here attacking Hoyoverse and Genshin Impact for the sole factor that these characters aren't black and brown and that they're considering it to be cultural appropriation. Well, what else we have? Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse boycott celebrate CEO's rental car getting broken into during visit to California. That's how deranged these people are. That's how insane they are. The moment something bad happens to the CEO, they celebrated it. They wanted worse things to happen. When you actually scroll through a lot of these tweets, they ended up saying, hey, well, this is why you don't be racist. This is why you do that. Oh, the next time I hope he's in there and things like that. Can the robber make the chars get melanin? Crying, don't tell me somebody actually blackmailed him into giving Natlan characters more melanin. You see how these people react to this? You see how these people celebrate in the suffering of others. Well, it continued on. Genshin Impact voice actor goes on unhinged rant, you're an effing loser who's going to die alone. All of this because one of her other voice actors for the Hoyoverse lost their job after seemingly supporting the boycott. So this person decided it was their job to go on this other unhinged rant and outright attacking everybody who was, pointing out, hey, you lost your job after supporting a boycott. That's actually kind of funny. Not celebrating and somebody's losing their job, just pointing out that something there funny actually happened. And they lost it. They went insane. So we're seeing how the voice actors even act with all this. Well, since also getting 100,000 signatures on this massive petition, and I've gone through several of these videos because I find that hilarious, we're seeing just how deranged these people are. So when you get the news of things like Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse boycotters rage and promise to escalate efforts after company revenue increase nearly 10% despite their boycott, when you get this story from last month, and you get the latest story, just a little bit of schadenfreude. Genshin Impact revenue increases over 8% in spite of active boycott. Now, I mentioned this earlier, okay? You come back over here. They were not really saying to quit playing the game, okay? They were doing that whole thing of, you guys were boycotting the game. They never actually committed to boycotting the game, because we could come over here. We of the Hoyoverse boycott urge for a strike on Natlan's very first banner starting on the 28th of August. Do not poll during her event banner and do not purchase anything from Hoyoverse. Please, we also ask that you follow our guideline that we have outlined. Take note of what they just said there. Don't poll during her banner, and on top of that, just don't buy anything from Hoyoverse. They're not saying don't play the game. So when you see this, I know this is a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot. It makes you even laugh more because you see this one, okay? Daily Coachina, who's also hashtag boy Hoyoverse. Oh, hey, literally polls out to the thing they're not supposed to be polling. Literally participating in the thing they aren't supposed to be participating in. Playing the game while they're boycotting and supporting the boycott. They're playing the game. You get the response. Should remove the boycott from your name then. I'm free to play. Thanks though. You're a boycotter and you're playing the game you're boycotting. So when you're seeing all this happen and you come over here, the revenue increased 8%. Yeah, because you're still playing the freaking game and giving the money. I at least thought higher of you guys. I'm actually shocked by this. I thought you guys were going to be man enough and have enough balls to actually not play the game, not participate in the game, not give them money. But you're doing it all the same, all while virtue signaling, boycott the game, boycott the game, boycott the game. What the hey? And like, you can take this to other forms of boycott, okay? We'll take Disney boycotts, okay? I know myself, I do watch Disney Plus, okay? I have to do it for shows or whatnot. I don't pay for Disney Plus. I've never paid for Disney Plus. I refuse to pay for Disney Plus. I have my own ways to do it. I will not pay for this stuff. If I think it's wrong, I'm not going to pay for it. I'm going to find another way to get access to things. I'm going to find another, whether it's buy something physical, whether it's go somewhere else. I'll find my own way to get around without giving them money. These people can't even do that. But we'll scroll down here to actually get to the, the revenue. The boycott appeared to completely fail in the month of July as Hoyoverse revenue increased 10% across its three major titles: Genshin Impact, Honkai, Star Rail, and the newly released Zenless Zone Zero. Across the three games, the company grossed $177.4 million. In comparison, Hoyoverse grossed $163 million in June from the Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. That's an 8.8% increase in revenue from month to month. Then, as we scroll down, Gacha revenue reports that Genshin Impact grossed a total of $40.3 million for the month of August, up 8.4%. compared to July, where the game grossed $37.3 million. While Genshin Impact's revenue increased, Hoyoverse did see their monthly revenue between all three games decline down to $111.1 million for the month. However, it's very likely that September will see a big increase as Genshin Impact released its new Natlan update. Nevertheless, revenue still appears to have increased year over year as Gacha revenue reported. The Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail grossed a combined total of $81 million in August 2023. That means the company revenue increased over 37% year over year. Your boycott was an abysmal failure. Everything about this was an abysmal failure, and you couldn't even do the simple thing of not playing the game. You still played the game. You still gave them money on the most couch activism I've ever seen. The biggest slacktivists I've ever seen boycotted a game because of my racisms, and they couldn't even do that. I have more respect for several other activists that succeed in their boycotts or try to boycott something, refuse to do something, even if I disagree with the boycott and think that they're dumb for trying to do that. I have more faith and respect in them. Take like the Israel-Palestine stuff. I know the people boycotting Israel are at least committed to boycotting Israel, and I have respect that they're at least doing that. This is the most pathetic virtue signaling, entitled brats out there that can't even commit to not playing a game. How insane is this? By the way, the game's free to play. You could go play any other game that's free to play and not participate in it. I don't get how irresponsible or pathetic you are, but it's not really a shock considering these people think they have power. They think they have influence. They think they can actually impact this game. When we come over here to Legal Mindset, I pulled this graph up before because I find it just so apt, okay? I find it so clear of the disconnect that's going on here. Something tells me the Hoyoverse boycott will be ineffective. This is a list of the major countries that actually play Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse games. Genshin Impact player distribution by region. Here's a player distribution data by region in the past 5 years, being 100 has the most players. Japan, South Korea, Philippines are your top 3. Russia, Taiwan, Malaysia, okay? Singapore, China, Hong Kong, Belarus. I don't know where Belarus is, but yeah, still a lot. Myanmar, Burma, Vietnam, Ukraine, Thailand, Kazakhstan, Indonesia, Chile, Canada, Lithuania, Costa Rica, New Zealand. There's not a whole lot of Western countries on this list, and even then, because we know a lot of these ideas come from mainly like Canada, UK, Europe, and America. America's not on this list. Canada's there at the very bottom. America ain't. They're not impactful in the slightest. Hoyoverse looks at this boycott, laughs because 1, you're not committed to it, and 2, even if you were committed to it, you're not going to impact their revenue. You're not going to hurt them. Your major player base comes from Japan, South Korea, Philippines. They don't care. They look at these characters and think they're good-looking characters. Interesting how this all works out. Interesting how the people that are the most entitled, the most deranged, the most slacktivist of them all have 0 impact on this game, but yet they still think that they're this main character that can vanquish the evil racist Hoyoverse. Doesn't seem to be that way. But hey, this is what happens when you can't commit to anything. It all blows up in your face and people come around laughing at you the entire time. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all of this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it up friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.